and this is Intro to Criminal Justice. And right now, I have two cases in front of me that I went over and I had to review for the assignment today. And the courthouse is nothing but criminal cases, nothing bigger than that. The type of hearing was criminal, and the date will be today, April 15th, 2019. The hearing started at 9 o'clock a.m. and ended at 11:32 a.m. today this morning. So the first case I have was Marcus Nigel, and the judge is Jackie Powell. So first of all, the courthouse didn't look anything like this. We went over this in class with a defense attorney that came in our class today. So for instance, we have our judge up here, bailiff, witness, court rep, and etc., etc., etc. The courthouse that I seen in the videos did not look like this. It was more like something like this that I'm talking to you about. It was more of a judge on one side, an attorney, and a defendant on one side. So Marcus Nigel was in court today for two counts. His first count was extraction by disguise, and his second count was trespassing. Both of them was probable cause. His bail will be anything between $100 and $500. The reason that it was probable cause because he had recent passes of being arrested and released from April 11th. So not even a week ago that this man has been in trouble. And every time he was arrested, it was in well manners. But then again, he invaded someone else's home randomly in their backyard. So he was arrested again April 11th that day. When he was arrested, he gave a false name. After he gave a false name, he had a pending possession of meth, drug use, resisting without violence, and pulling a false alarm. The man studies mental health issues, so that's the reason why he's on bail today. And his order for return was requested, and that was granted. So this wasn't too big of a case. It was a criminal case that lasted at least between 15 minutes, but I broke it down into small pieces. Again, his bail was $100 to between $500 because of probable cause. The second case I went through today was Ellington Salter. And again, the judge was Jackie Powell. Jackie Powell was actually the judge for the 9 a.m. to the 11:32 shift. All day, she was going through cases over and over and over, criminal cases. There weren't anything too big between murder or anything like that. These were trespassing, probable cause, drug use, DUIs, DWIs, anything between there, she was there for it. So Ellington Salter had two counts again. His count one was petty theft. Count two was driving while he was on suspended license. Salter wished to ask the court to consider for his offer in the hearing today. His offer didn't get granted, so he pleaded with the DWI from last month and a combination of the DWI. So with the stolen license plate that he had on his car for the opening, offers him a bond of $100. That was nothing between something too big to get him jail time. So anything, if he had his bail for today or after his case, he got it granted. And so driving without suspended license is nothing really too big in any states that I believe in. And it was really just something minor that I believe. Again, it was a criminal case, and the evidence of the hearing just really gave it all up. He pleaded guilty. His defense attorney pleaded him guilty for it, and so that's what made the case really go through really smoothly like it did today. But the layout of the court was the judge was sitting, and the defense attorney and the defendant were standing in the video, and they had a line of men just going through cases. So Jackie Powell again was just going through the cases while her defenses were standing, pleading guilty or not guilty. The people were located, I think, at the jail because they had a guard in the background next to them. So that's nothing really too big I could get through. And the people who talked were the judge or the defense attorney. Only time that the people who were arrested got to talk were to state their name or to plead guilty. So and so the judge's decisions were mostly by probable cause. They weren't giving off her emotions or her thoughts. It was what came in and what they're leaving with. And so again, nothing too big. She gave them off her probable cause decisions, and that was really what the cases went through today. From my reflection of what happened today, I really enjoyed it because it showed how smoothly everything went for the judge and the defense attorneys, and and the people who were arrested. It just really went great all in one section from the time that it was being, and from the times we discussed in class. I believe that reasonable doubt played the biggest part, because when the defense attorney were giving off their list of what they done to be back in that court again, it got them back in jail, but it didn't give them any jail time. It gave them a bond this time. So reasonable doubt played a big part in those two cases. Again, there was a defense attorney, there were judges in there, one judge actually, and the defense attorney and his person he was defending had a standing mute. The standing mute is refusing to answer is entered by the judge as non pleading guilty. So standing mute was, I believe, used by Marcus Nigel. He pleaded non guilty, but probable cause on his paperwork and everything goes. Just this first step. And I believe there was one more that we went over in class that I really thought that stand out in the book. Everyone spoke clearly, firmly, with expression. Answers came directly. There were pauses when they were speaking, so that really gave off a push to the answer. And the defense attorney referred to his notes if he couldn't recall exactly what happened with his defendant. And those were the two cases that really happened today, and they really just made me see courthouses different. But I want to see what happens in a bigger courthouse with like murder, something going on with the death penalty, because that really influenced me to become the officer I want to be in the future. So again, Intro to Criminal Justice, my two cases from Monday, April 15th, 2019, 9 a.m. to 11:32